Be blessed by the divine. My pronouns to our President, World Community Service Center, and all the trustees. And to all my brothers and sisters of Gatar, Yoga or Meditation Center, and all those who are presently connected in the Zoom. Over and above that, my pronouns to your parents, those who are instrumental in fulfilling their desires to push you into this Vedatriyam. And once again, I thank you all for this participation today. Why I choose this topic? In my sky life for the last something like 30 plus years, I could see many people complained of physical pain. They go to a doctor. Finally, the result is going to be nil. Either the influence of the food, the intake of food, or any external injury, there is no kind of symptoms. But still they suffer physical pain. So then I thought, then Swamiji's one particular place in Manavalakkalai part 2 on page 5, the role of thought. I could see the Swamiji has given only an outline. Anger will result in stomach ulcer, blood pressure, heart attack, and fear. In children, the bedwetting we call as, it is because of the fear of the parents, especially the father. Even at the age of 8 and 10, they pass urine in the morning. Bedwetting. It is because the psychological fear. And the disappointment is because the diarrheas result in disappointment, are unable to accept. So all these things I could see. Then I thought, why not we develop these things? Then the negative thought causes chemical changes in our body that becomes a disease. These are all the indications given by Swamiji. And Swamiji in his, in a poem also he has written, because the poem was in English. So this is the summoned substance is all diseases because of our thought. So with this basis, I started thinking and then studied, many people. And I gone through the website, what today's medical science says. With all these things, just connected and giving you a small introduction to you to think and act. Face is the index of the mind. Physical body is regarded as an outward embodiment of our mind. Agathin alagu mugathil theriyum. If you are calm and quiet and doing your homework or some novel studies, or you get a message that somebody is very serious, immediately the whole thing changes. You show the whole fear or the thing just shows into your face. And if you are angry for some reason, you put a long face. So face is the index of the mind. Eyes are the mirrors of the soul. Then what is psychosomatic? Why it is? Psyche means mind. Soma means you just split this psychosomatic into two. Psyche and soma. Psyche is mind. Soma is body. So a psychosomatic illnesses or the physical symptoms influences influenced by our mind. Let us try to understand the influence of the mind without any evidence of injury or infections in the body. That is psychosomatic disorder, is a disease which involves both body and mind. Pain without any injury or illness, it could be psychosomatic. If it is because of hereditary, even then it is treated as psychosomatic. So let us start understanding a little more on body and mind relation. Life is really very simple. What we give out, we get back. Vinay vidaithavan vinay aruppan, thinai vidaithavan thinai aruppan. So every thought we think is creating our future. We create situation. This is what is generally happening in today's world. We create the situation by our thought and put the blame on others. Because of you, everything has happened. We put the blame on those around us, the loved ones especially. Let us try to understand. No person, no place, and no things has any power over us. They cannot. No person, no place, and no thing has a power on us. Life is like an echo. What you sent out, you get it back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. What you see in others, it exists in you. Do not judge, so you will not be judged. Radiate and give love, and love will come back to you. Very beautiful thing. Pain without any injury or illness could be psychosomatic. Remember that cells, tissues, and organs in the body do not question the information that is sent from our nervous system, from the brain, from your thought, from your beliefs. Thus, we respond to life affirming perceptions or self-destructive misperceptions every day. I am so good, people are using me, many things like this. Our perception influences our fate. Our thoughts have the power to change our body chemistry. So thought causes stress, and some thoughts causes relaxation and self-rehabilitation. So then how to diagnose a psychosomatic pain? It is not easy to determine whether the pain is psychosomatic or somatic or in your psychology. It plays a role in perceiving pain. It is very difficult even for a doctor to establish how much of the problem is psychological and how much it could be serious medical conditions. Today that was the challenging. So it becomes more difficult when the patient is unwilling to accept their conditions is psychological partly or completely. If this somebody can find out, then you can diagnosing the psychosomatic pain. The patient is unwilling to accept that their condition is psychological partly or completely. So then how to do it? Diagnosing a psychosomatic pain is very simple. An interesting concept has found. It is called placebo effect. So even even you could have experienced in your own life. If the child comes with some pain or something, you just, no, nothing like that. This goes, you take some oil and then you just put it in that. It is just simply an oil. You say it is a medicine and just apply it on the play. The child just forgets it and starts playing again. The same thing like this. Put some sugars in the pills and a bottle or something. The placebo tablets are available today even. And you convince the patient, those have got some pain, physical pain, this is an antibiotic, consists of so and so, so and so. It just, the pain goes away and disappears in 1 day's time. You follow whatever I say. Then he will take it thinking that it is filled with antibiotics. So my body pain will disappear, or that whatever the bacteria will be killed, and then I will overcome. If the mind thinks that it is a medicine filled, an antibiotic medicine filled tablet, it accepts. The problem goes away. Then it is psychosomatic problem. We gave the patient only a sugar filled tablet, but the pain disappeared. So this is how they found out it's a psychosomatic problem. However, the first step to diagnose a psychosomatic illness is to look into the whole human being and not just the symptoms of illness. This is what the today's medical field is doing. Just the symptoms. Give something, some tablets, and the disease go around the living area, they give. But it is important to check the lifestyle, family history, social circle, their past, negative life events, abuse, and so on. If all these things are looked into it, in total of a person, then you can diagnose it's a psychosomatic pain. You can help him not to take any antibiotics. So the probable solutions to a psychosomatic pain. Resolving psychosomatic pain requires more than just medicine. Simply treating the symptoms of pain will not solve the issue. Healthcare practitioners need to go to the root cause of the pain and treat the cause. And today, even in all over the world, today I can see even the school, the class teacher will not talk to the student giving some trouble for some various reasons. No, he will send the student from the age of 3 to 5 to even to 10th and 12th standard, even at the college levels. There is going to be a counselor. Then the counselor will ask, what is the cause? He is coming late. He will not ask, why do you come late? Then he will ask, what are your parents, from where you are coming? She will find out, the counselor will find out the root cause. Then she will communicate the cause, find out the cause, and to the class teacher. Class teacher will not scold the student. Then they both will sit together with the parents, they find a solution. So today, the whole world is now following the counseling and psychotherapy. Can help to find out the real source of pain by finding the connections between the physical pain and it is possible psychological cause. Studies have shown the importance of meditation and yoga in improving the psychosomatic pain. This I have experienced in my 30 years. With that experience, now we will go through in detail. What is the mind-body relationship? If your thought declares, people are out to get me, I'm very good because of my goodness, people are using me. If your thought pattern is like this, people are using me because of your goodness in life, you are used or abused like a doormat. It is a fact. So at the same time, if someone chooses a thought of peace and harmony, you will find in your lives peace and harmony. You make living by what you get. You make a life by what you give. That's what Winston Churchill says. Life by what you give. You get it back and you're living. If our innermost beliefs from our childhood, some Tom, Dick and Harry, or maybe a class teacher or your family members or your neighbors, somebody said, I'm not good enough. You are only fit to be a shepherd. You are fit to be, you cannot hold money in your hand. All these things, I don't deserve. Such things is your belief. Then according to your belief, your thought, and then thought leads to emotions, emotion leads to your situations, and that happens, you do your action, that gives a result. So now let me ask you, for whom I'm not good enough, for whom I don't deserve, according to what standards I'm not good enough, according to what standard I don't deserve. Let us ask these questions. If you think that way, then you are in the right track. The strong beliefs cannot give you health, peace, and happiness. Therefore, you must release the past. They must be willing to forgive and forget. If you start releasing the past and you start believing forgive and forget, willing to forgive and forget begins the healing process. I forget X, Y, Z for cheating me, for slapping me, or many things, verbally or physically. The healing process starts. This affirmation sets us free from disease. Okay, then let us now try to understand what is the relationship between body, mind, soul, and consciousness. Listen to the love to body's messages. Body is like a mirror. It shows our inner thoughts and beliefs. The body is always talking to us. We don't listen to it. Why? Because we always talking to somebody. We never listen to it. Every cell in our body will respond to our every single thought and word. Continuous thinking and speaking produces behavior and postures. It eases or diseases. So now let us try to further understand the relationship between body and mind. I just wanted to give you a small example. Suppose you are in your classroom, you are the speaker asking, you take the pedestal mic very close to me. I would like to stand and talk. Okay, you looked at the pedestal mic, and your causal body, your experienced body thinks, oh, it may be of about 2 kgs, it's made out of pipe. You go near the stand, hold the pipe, and you lift it. Oh, it is not 2 kgs, it may be 5 kgs. Then as soon as your causal body, your experienced body thinks that it is 5 kg, then immediately your astral body, the energy body, gives that much of energy to your physical body, and physical body works. You are able to lift that 5 kg pedestal mic and put it near the speaker. How it could happen? Why not at the first time you failed to lift it, and the second time you could? It is because 2 kg and 5 kg, the difference of 3 kgs. So somebody will ask then, sir, if it is 100 kg, is it possible? Yes, of course, it is possible. Go and ask Karna Malleshwari. We may think that it is impossible, but an athlete from our country got a bronze medal in weightlifting. She thinks I can. If you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, you cannot. She continuously thought I can. Go to her regularly. She trains her body, and the India could get a first medal in weightlifting by a lady, by a woman, by a woman. So it is possible. So a little more understanding of relationship between body and mind is required. See, we have 3 bodies in us: causal body, astral body, and physical body. If mind wills, it draws energy from the astral body and it works. If mind does not will, it does not draw energy, it cannot work. If mind half wills, only half energy is drawn and you cannot complete your work. Now let us understand. If mind half wills, okay, somebody has invited you for a birthday party. Okay, you ask your wife, hey, come on, let's go. The birthday party they are celebrating today. Your wife says, many times I invited them, they have not attended our function, they think they are rich and we are poor. So they have not attended our two times I invited them, then they have not attended. Why should I? So the mind does not will, but your husband is asking, no, we must go. He's like, my boss who gave me, so and so entry and then settle down here. So we must go. So the pressure from your husband, you want to go, but in your innermost feeling is, I don't want to go. So then you are getting ready. 1 week, he was just pressurizing you. The day has come, you have to start, you dress yourself and you just slipped and fallen in your steps. Now you have an ankle twist. Slip or ankle twist. Now you have started limping. Then your husband says, okay, with this limping, don't come. You put some, ice pack and then get yourself comfortable. I had to go and attend to the party. He takes the, the children and goes to the party. So now you are living in that flat for the last 20 years. There is no chance of missing the step to fall down. It is your innermost belief and thought that I don't want to go and attend to the party. See, that is what is happening. The same way, if your mind half wills, suppose your husband invited a relative to your house for a lunch. But whenever you had been there, they gave you a cup of tea or some snacks and send you out. Many times, with so much of, hunger, you've gone there, you had a snacks and a coffee, go to a hotel and took your food and returned. Now you think, they have not offered me a lunch, not even once. Many times I had been there, but he is asking me to cook for them. If mind now half wills, anyhow, I'll have to obey my husband's thing. Okay. Mind has only half wills. So only half energy is drawn. In the process of cooking, your gas cylinder, gas may get exhausted, or some kind of a call or something happens because of smoke. Smoke detector has found out, you'll have to put off your cooking. Things will go wrong. So it is only half done. Your mind half wills, half energy is drawn. You could complete your task only half. The same way in your project work. Your boss wants to do it. You
blessed by the divine. Sir, maybe.
Yeah. You are unable to hear?
Sir, maybe audio is getting disturbed. Maybe you can switch off the video maybe.
No, it's clear, sir. No issues.
It's okay?
It's okay, sir. Perfectly fine.
Okay, fine. Then my network is a problem then. Okay, sir. Carry on, please.
So the slides are moving.
No, it's working, sir. Professor, you can continue.
Thank you. So if the mind half wills, even in your project work, if your boss says and you say, I will do it, half wills, then you could complete your project in a halfway only. So if mind wills, it draws energy, it works. If mind half wills, only half of the work you can complete, you get a bad name. If your mind does not will, it does not draw energy, you cannot do your work. It's very simple. With this understanding, we will move on. What is the medical science says today? You can see it is a Dr. Candace Pert. She was a pharmacologist basically and a neuroscientist. She has published over 250 research articles. She has published a book which is displayed on the left side, Molecules of Emotion. She was a significant contributor to the emergence of body-mind medicine in 80s. And then, earning the title Mother of Psychoneuroimmunology and the Goddess of Neuroscience by her many fans. So 1946 to 2013 she lived, earned a great name. Let us understand what she says. In the book Molecules of Emotion, one of the best book, I recommend you all to please kindly read. It's very well related to the spiritual and the spiritual science. Candace D. Pert explains, for decades, most people thought the central nervous system, the brain is an extension of central nervous system, and it is something like an electrical communication system resembling like a telephonic system with the trillions and miles of intricate or crisscrossing wires. But today, the medical science in 1895 itself, the research techniques for studying peptides and receptors show that only 2% of neural communications are electrical. In fact, she writes, brain is a bag of hormones. Let us understand, brain is a bag of hormones. And those hormones affect not only the brain, but every aspect of the body and mind. See, that is why we say the brain produces varieties of hormones. 23 varieties of hormone, the pituitary, the master gland produces. So the brain is a bag of hormones. She is the first to find out, and it is broadly accepted by the scientist. Now let us try to understand with that. It's a bag of chemicals. It produces varieties of hormones. When your thought arises in the mind, the hormones, the neurons produces chemicals, peptides that she calls as neuropeptides. So every thought produces a neuropeptides. It flows to the body parts and it works on the physical level. If you want to hit someone with your hand or lift something with your hand, the neuropeptides travel to the parts of the body, both the hands, and gives us the energy to lift it, to support it. If you want to fight, it gives us the energy. If you want to shout at somebody, the energy goes to your vocal cord. And you talk about it, you work. So no discrimination. The neuropeptides, it cannot discriminate the purpose for which you are doing that work or action. It may be good or bad, it may be useful or useless, the result will follow. So based on your thought, you get the result. Based on your thought, it produces neuropeptides, it flows to the body parts, works to the physical level without any discrimination, good or bad, useful or unuseful, result follows. This is how every second Our thought affects the body. Thought affects the body, self, family, and society by and large. So now, let us move on to how this impacts on our body. For that, another scientific evidence, the hidden messages in water. Marasu Amatu lived from 43 to 2014 as a Japanese scientist, researcher, photographer, entrepreneur, who claimed that human consciousness has an effect on molecular structure of water. It can change the molecular structure of water. With your positive words and thoughts and words, you can pollute the water or you can purify the water. Now let us understand what he did. The experiments, whatever he has conducted over a period of time, you know what he did? He took 2 glass trays, poured the water, the same water in both the trays. The trays, one tray is kept in a separate room and other tray is kept in a room without the understanding of the others. So for the one room, he asked people to go and curse the water. Whatever you feel like, you hate, curse the water with all bad words. And on the other side of the room, somebody comes and then they bless the water. Thank you, without which you cannot live. So that many blessing words. Then after that, he took both the glass trays, frozen for 3 hours at minus 25 degree centigrade. So the entire lab is precisely controlled with freezer environment. The crystal formation happened. Then he studies the crystal formation under a 500 times an electron microscope. So now see the results. The hidden message of water, it is there, or you can Google and check up. The meaning, the words, the positive words, thank you, in any language, in Chinese or in French and Italian language, whatever the language you say, it gave a beautiful crystal pattern. The same time, the word uttered in Japanese or you fool, in English or in Japanese, you could see the image. You can make me sick. Such kind, you can see a man holding a gun here. These are the impacts on the positive and negative thoughts over the water, and it changed the molecular structure of water. You can see these are all available on Google. Crystal formed after the exposure of positive words, and the negative words, you can see this. Okay, now with this, what is the content of water in our body? Because our positive and negative thoughts have an impact on the molecular structure of water, it can change. With this understanding, let's see what is the content of water in our body. We have 72% of water in the body. Andathil irupadu pindathil. Whatever is there in the universe, it is there in our body. So 28% of solid and 72% of water. The brain contains 70% of water. Our brain weighs about 1.5 kgs. So it contains 70% of water. Lungs 90%, pneumonia. Blood 82%. Every 120 days the blood changes. You have new blood, RBC. Skin 80%. It is the largest organ in our body. Muscles, bone 22% of water it contains. Now with this understanding, how our thought impacts our brain, lungs, blood, skin and muscles. So our thought pattern results in disease. Criticism indulged in long enough, arthritis. Anger turns into things of boil, burns and infection in the body. Resentment, long held, leads to tumor and cancer. Guilt always seeks punishment and leads to pain. It is much easier to release these negative thinking patterns from our mind to heal our body. So now, let us go into detail now. You know Lord Chitragupta, the only and one PA for Yamadharma Raja. That's what the story told by our elders when we were young. We have accepted. So then, you know, all our good and bad deeds are written in a ledger by Chitragupta, and he is only one PA, and he will read out when, after the soul leaves the body, then where Chitragupta will read. He will read in Amaloka, not in Bhuloka. If you tell this story, the present generations, they are very clever and intelligent. They will ask, you said only one PA living in the earth, and while studying, after death, he go to the Yamaloka, Yamadharma Raja's courtyard. Chitragupta is going to read the lecture and the ledger. This is what the sin you have committed. These are the punishment given to you. Now they will ask, Mommy, you said only one PA. Now he is in Yamaloka. Now who is there to record all the sinful deeds committed by the living people on earth? So the mother has no answer. Know what she will say? Don't ask such stupid questions. Listen to me. That's all. Then the child will laugh and go. So if that is the case for every punishment, put into a hot boiling, pan, then or you're rolled on a thorn-filled all these things, you purify your soul. Then the new soul born, are they without any disease or disturbance? No. So therefore, no hell and heaven. Hell and heaven are right here. We write all our positive and negative thoughts, our fate. So let us try to understand, at least for the next generation, we say, Chittam and Guptam. Chittam is mind, Guptam is secret. So Chittam and Guptam, mind and secret. So we are the Chitta Gupta to ourselves. We write our own records. There is no Chitragupta sitting somewhere and writing all the good and bads of every individual living on earth. We are the Chitta Gupta to ourselves. Okay. With this, we move on to the real case studies. Sometime back, in about 10-15 years back, in Time magazine, there was a white couple and a black child born. And he goes to court, illegitimate child. Then judgment day has come. The judge, then the divinity, the consciousness, the divinity plays a role. It just with a clairvoyance, the judge gets a clairvoyance, go and see the girl's house. Then he just dials, I would like to come and see your house. Yes, Your Majesty, you are welcome. He just goes all over the house. He could not get any clue to give the judgment. Then he's asking that lady, do you have any other place for me to see in your house? Yes, master. Yes, mister. Yes, Your Majesty, I have not shown my bedroom. Would you like to see? Yes, of course. Then he gets into the bedroom. He could see a black Negro fighter photograph opposite to the pillow that. But no, then he could, how long you are having that picture or the photograph, the Negro fighter? Right from my childhood, I love black is beauty. So now you all know the Tamil song, Karuppu thaan enakku pudicha color. So a short, tall, fair, all these things because of your mindset. Now you can just go back and what kind of a thought pattern you had and how your children are. So these are all, you can analyze it. This is how you can balance your mind. The power of thought. There is, Today's world, the husband and wife are normal, but there is no issue, no child. Why? Then they just try, or their reproductive system is fine. They go for an IVF treatment, but nothing happens. Then the counseling starts. The negative thoughts, there are negative thoughts running in the mind. They see the negative people and they see the negative experiences of people, those who don't have a child. So then what is the kind of negative thoughts running in their mind? They found out, I do not like kids. Number two, DINK. In American culture, double income, no kids, no children. If you have this kind of a thought pattern, how can you have a child? Even though your reproductive system is fine and healthy. Then you think that upbringing children is a struggle. I hate children. When I am old, they do not take care. This kind of a thought pattern, if runs any of the husband or wife's mind, they cannot have a child. How they get a child? So what to do? Change your thought pattern. That is why, in our villages, those who don't have a child, when a newborn child or in 1 year, they bring the child and give it to that lady so that she get that kind of a feeling. So children are like God. It is not struggle. So that kind of a thing they bring, they get an issue. This kind of a psychological thing they were doing it. And today, let's understand how to do it is change all these negative thoughts into positive. Bringing up a child is not a struggle. Then that means that the existence of human being cannot. Human race cannot. So it is our moral responsibility. That's how God has designed us, our system. Accept it. Male or a female. Accept it is a divine judgment. Okay. Then you will have every chance of getting a child. Cramp during period. Many women are in their cramps during the periods. They will have an abdominal cramp. You can see most of them, they take Barolgan tablet. Why? If it is designed by God, every woman should get that kind of a pain during their menstrual cycle. Why only few get it? Why not the rest? Then what kind of a thought pattern running in their mind? They found out being born as women is a sinful act. That's what they think. So if you don't accept the divine judgment, you are a woman. If you don't accept your femininity, then what happens? You are mentally putting up a rubber band on the fallopian tube. And every 27 days from your ovaries, an egg travels through the fallopian tube to your uterus to get fertilized. But by your negative thought pattern, being born as woman is sin, then with that thought, you're putting a rubber band in the fallopian tube. Your thought obstructs the flow of the egg through the fallopian tube to the uterus. So now you have to take a Barolgan tablet to ease or release. So it travels. So what to do? Change your negative thought. By changing your negative thought, accept the God-given gift. You are a female. Accept the femininist. With that, you will stop taking Barolgan tablet in next few months' time. See, it is not only going to affect you, it is going to affect your successive generations, passed on to generation. This I have experienced while I was taking a class in Bharat Electronics. A girl, well built, tall, fair, she says, "Sir, I am proud of my structure, intelligence, everything." Now, why I too get an abdominal cramp? Oh, this is a challenging task. Those who are sitting on, those who are, the dais, the teacher, or you will get this kind of a questions. Then don't worry. The nature, the Almighty, the God will immediately give you the result. You will get the answer very quickly. That is what the dimension which opens up a man who is practicing meditation and introspection. Quick insight to the mind, perspicacity. You get connected to the cosmos will give you immediately the result, whatever has you will get it. That's going to be an apt result for that time, at that moment, don't worry. So now, with that, I immediately got to a parent, you are the first child or the second child, I asked her. Sir, I am the second child. My first is also a daughter in my family, to my father and mother, my elder sister and me. Then I told her, go and ask your mother. When she was conceived and carrying, what was her thought pattern? Then the next day she came to the class and she was sitting quite calm. Then I asked her, what happened? Yes, sir. The first is also a daughter. The second is also a daughter. She has to undergo all these pain and miseries. My mother said. So that is the reason. The thought pattern of your mother passed on to you. Even though you are comfortable, you have that problem. Now you throw away, your daughter will not get it. So forgive and forget. Accept your femininity. So constipation. 6 in a family, a common food prepared by the mother, all 6 takes. But why only one is a victim for constipation? He has to take a laxative. He has to take some kind of kadukai, or he has to take some kind of a laxative tablet. So as long as he takes it, he will have a next morning bowel movement, and when he stops it, it will also stop. Why? What kind of a thought pattern, what kind of a thought running in his mind? They found out. Some 10 years back, sometime somebody said something to him. Sitting and acting, good for nothing, not going for a job, all these things, blah, blah. No, he got irritated. How can they say that? I'm taking care of my family, my father's responsibility. I may not go to job, but I'm taking care of the whole family. How can he say? So the man who said it is not there. It's 10 years before he said it. You are holding on to that thought. How can he say that? So if you are holding on to that kind of a thought, which was supposed to be thrown away, discarded, you still holding on to that kind of a thought in your mind, then the one which was supposed to go out of our body will not be let go out. Our large intestine or descending colon will not let the feces material to go out of the body. So what one should do it? Forgive and forget. The person who said it, forget that person. Forget, he is no more. Let me throw away his words. Why should I carry it? If you throw away those things, then our large intestine will throw away the waste material from the body. Your constipation will disappear. Loose motion. As long as you say, I cannot digest the situation in the house, I cannot digest the situation in the office, I cannot digest the situation in the people around. If you cannot digest their ideas and opinions, by and large made by the society and the government, if you cannot digest your food, whatever you have taken, it cannot digest. So what to do? Accept their ideas. Good ones. If it is a community, it is, you have to accept it. You'll have to wear a face mask, do this. All these things you must accept it. It may look, you cannot digest it, but you have to accept it to avoid the loose motion. Heart attack. Heart represents love. The blood which is flowing through the heart represents joyful feeling. So, lovingly, our heart pumps the blood throughout the body. One experiences the joyfulness. When we deny, please understand, when we deny ourselves the love and joy from others or from self, you know what happens? Deny the love and joy, you know what happened? The heart swells, it's curling, it's drying, it becomes cold. So because of that, as a result of blood gets sluggishness, all the flakes moving into the bloodstream gets stuck in the veins, and it just stops the blood to flow and reaches the heart. Therefore, heart never attacks us. We only attack the heart by our negative thought. We don't show our love and joy to others. We often forget to notice the little joy that surrounds us. We spend years of squeezing all the joy out of heart, results in pain. You can see today the young CEOs, their lifestyle may be perfect, getting up early in the morning, doing some meditation, doing some chanting, and taking good food, jogging, everything. But if they don't share their love and joy, then that results in squeezing pain, results in heart attack. That's what they found out. Heart attack people are never joyful people. If someone comes to you, so I completed this project, so and so, oh, very good. No, you put your hand over them, and then you just give your love for the work they did it. Subsequently, you decide and tell them, oh, good, let me look into it. Instead of that, you say, keep your paper on the table and get lost. That means you are not sharing the joy and love. So, the never take time, that's what I know, one says, never take time to appreciate the joy of love. If somebody is doing something, your wife is doing something good, some snacks or some good work, appreciate. If you don't appreciate and think that it is our duty and responsibility, she has to do it. So that means think that you are going to get a bad heart attack. So now for you, those who are CEOs and those who are not following this, I will tell you, you take your father's or your son or daughter's phone, dial father's number. Okay, keep both the phones, father's phone, your children's phone, a son or a daughter, you dial the father's number. You know, if that display in father's mobile, if it is my dad, name, love, then he will never have an heart attack. If the father's phone displays an image like this, lion calling, a bulldog is calling, definitely he will have an heart attack. So, heart attack people are never joyful people. They never appreciate others. They don't share and care. So now, a case study on a thyroid problem. A newly married woman. So this is what all over the world, the age between 22 and 28, the newly married women are getting these thyroid issues. 1 out of 8 women getting this thyroid problem today, it says, all over the world. They're experiencing anxiety, irritability, and nervousness, having trouble in sleeping, losing weight or gaining weight, having enlarged thyroid gland. Why all these things? There is no hereditary. Then why it should happen? They found out it is because they are unable to, when they get married, they go to their in-laws place or a new place where she had been trained to get up early in the morning, doing meditation, exercise, so on, taking care of her health, doing all the domestic work. But the new place where she has entered, they all get up at 10 a.m. in the morning. They drink, social drinking, and they don't have any kind of spiritual practice. With all these things, she is unable to digest the situation in the new place. And she cannot express and tell all these things to their family members, to her parents. So she is unable to express these things to their family members, parents, brothers or sisters, neither speak nor swallow what is happening here in her newly joined place, in-laws place. So neither talk about herself to their parents, nor to swallow the digestion. It puts pressure on her thyroid gland, which is stuck on over the windpipe like a butterfly. So that produces thyroid issues, thyroid disorders. 1 in 8 women, 20 million Americans, even in our own country, in India, they found out there are about 13 to 16% they suffer due to thyroid problem from the age of 24 to say 30 this time. So what is the solution? Talk about it. Talk about yourself. Tell your parents, Amma, this is what is happening in this house. Don't worry. I've accepted it. But still, I don't follow them. I live as I am, but still, I love them all. And it is their lifestyle, but I am trying to change them. With that positive thought, your thyroid problem will disappear. Okay, now a case study of cancer. Why then cancer today is a major issue? The first killer in the world today is cancer disease, helplessness. There is no heredity. No, there, wife side or the husband side, there is no trace of cancer, 2-3 generations. Then why she got cancer? Then they found out there are 4 major thought patterns which is running: hopelessness, helplessness, resentment, false opinion on others. These are the reasons one gets cancer. Even a teetotaler. A teetotaler means no smoking, no drinking, no outside food, good lifestyle. With all these things, why she gets it? It is because of these 4: helplessness, hopelessness, resentment, and false opinion on others. Hopelessness. Sorry, first is helplessness. Can you help me? I can't help. If you cannot help, doctor cannot help you for your survival. Hopelessness. Can you give me hope? Sorry, I can't give you hope. No one gives me hope. Please understand, doctor cannot give you hope for your survival or guarantee your life. Your doctor cannot give you hope. Then the resentment. Resentment is called in a bitter and anger put together is called a resentment. Resentment is like taking poison and waiting for other person to die. It was very nice. That's why I put the sentence. And your right side you can see. Resentment is like taking poison and waiting for other person to die. So you have got bitter and anger, and all are enjoying life. All are enjoying my property and nobody is carrying me. This is what is resentment. And false opinion on others. No, this kind of a character, they don't believe in anybody. False opinion. No, don't believe them. Don't trust them. Don't give it. Don't do that. Don't do this. Cause a false growth in body, which is called a tumor. With the above qualities, tumor may become a cancerous cell. How can I get it? Because of your false opinion on others. So if all these things, major or minor, if these 4 things, helplessness, hopelessness, resentment, and false opinion, if one has it, then she or he will get cancer to the respective part of the body based on the thought pattern. So now we will see the major cancer cases all over the world. It is the breast cancer today. So the breast represents mothering principle. Mother gives breast milk to the child, period of 1 year or 1.5 years or 9 months. So the mothering principle represents by breasts. Now, how and why a teetotaler mother gets breast cancer? No hereditary link. Why she gets it? I studied. I have a lot of people in my own family has this issue. I've seen it. What kind of thought pattern running in their mind? I have only one son. He is not taking care of me. He just after marriage, he has gone to his wife's side. I have a lot of, I have now insecurity. My son will not support me. This kind of insecurity and giving over protection because of that. I have only one son. If I go, will my daughter-in-law take care of my son? This kind of over mothering or over protection, this process will cause breast cancer. The nodes, it gets the virus, the cells becomes harder and thicker, that becomes a cancerous cells. The process is to allow what to do. Let the child to grow up. And the new thought pattern is, I am important in my life. I want to realize self. My responsibility bringing up my children is over. Got married, a girl or a boy or a girl, they got married, they settled down. I am important. I must take care of me and myself and nourish myself with love and joy. So detach yourself with your son or a daughter after the age. Even at the age of 30, they get married, they have a child. You still, as soon as your son comes from the workplace, you give him or her a coffee and taking care in all respects, then it's going to be a problem. You will have a breast cancer. So detach yourself. Take care of yourself. I did the best. So this is the mothering principle. I allow others freedom. I allow others freedom in their life. So now today, 1 in 8 women get breast cancer today. So the solution is detach yourself with a son or a daughter with that appropriate age. Give their freedom to live. Take care of yourself, it will disappear. Oh, this is pancreas. I put it pancreas today, the sugar. Most of them are diabetes. Why? Because, the pancreas secretes, insulin. It helps in the digestion process. And endocrine function, it regulates the blood sugar level in the body. Why someone gets the diabetes? It's not there in the hereditary. The deep sorrow or no sweetness left in life. This kind of a thought pattern, they get into type 2 diabetes. So deep sorrow and no sweetness in life is responsible. So the application of body. I will take another, there's 1, 3, maybe another 5-10 minutes I'll take. Then we'll go for a question and answer session. Hair represents strength. Tension and affright, fear causes tension in the scalp and it is squeezed. So the hair dies and it falls as a result, results in baldness. You can take on your right side, you can see it is a round. The hair is round, the hair shaft is round. Something like, you take a sheet, punch a round hole. You pull the sheet or a balloon or a rubber on both the sides, tension. So with that, you pull on both the sides, you know what happens? The round becomes ellipse. So the hair shaft is round. So when the hair, it becomes, due to tension, it becomes an ellipse. It cuts the hair fall takes place. Further, if you don't de-stress yourself with some kind of a meditation or kind of a massage and things like that, then further you are stretching it. So that leads to the hole where the hair shaft comes out because of the biomagnetic flow. It just seals. So there is no hole for the hair to come back again. The baldiness takes place. So you have to de-stress. So today what people are doing, why women are having this issue today? Because women started fighting. We are equal to men. They started doing all their work. So because of that, they have a lot of stress and tension in their life. They lose their hair, baldiness takes place. So any amount of hair oil will never help you to the growth of your hair. Indulekha on the Amazon, from the forest Amazon, they make all these hair oils. Will never work unless you analyze yourself, de-stress, do some meditation, and you analyze your thought pattern. With that only, you will not allow the baldiness to take place. Otherwise, these hair oils is only a failure. If an Indulekha Brinda happens to listen to my lecture, he will file a suit. Okay, let's move on. Headache. Headache comes from invalidating self. When you compare yourself with your own colleague or with your own family members, when you invalidating, oh no, he's doing a good job, I'm not able to do it. Next time when you invalidate yourself, when you comparing yourself with your own family members and other self with the work they are doing, don't do that. You will get a headache because you are an individual. There is no person like you in the world. So when you compare, you have the migraine, headache, sinus, all these things happen. The sinus is because someone too close to you giving you trouble. So then you have that running nose. All this running nose will happen. Represent being irritated by someone in your life too close to you causes the running nose. Suddenly, it is not hereditary. Suddenly it takes place. You look at it. You look back, why it is happening? Yesterday he told me like this. That is why it is happening today. Oh, you will understand the situation. It stops. Don't go and take an antibiotic or some tablet. Eyes. Eyes represent the capacity to see the world. God has designed our eyes to see the world, see people, enjoy the nature. But we do not want to see the people around in your house. For what reason? I just tell you, a woman at the age of 34. A woman reported me at the age of 34 having some glaucoma problem, lost her eyes about 15 years back. Then I told her what kind of a thought pattern running in her mind. Then I found out after the counseling, she has been character assassinated. You are born to somebody else. This kind of a character assassination lead her to kind of a pressure in their eyes. She don't want to see people in her own house. How can you live without seeing the people in your house? So that causes a stress in your retina, slowly blood clot. She lost her eyes, vision. So I explained her, forgive and forget. She got her vision in the second eye. We will go to the ear problems. We do not want to hear. Children, what reason? A child complaining of some ear pain. You take the child to ENT specialist. He just does all that for test everything. The system is very fine. Then why the child is complaining about ear pain? It is because it is there in the child or in the older people, the life partners. Why all these things? It is because in children, the parents, the fight in the household fights between husband and wife. They don't want to hear the husband and wife fight, so they have the ear problem. And their parents' idea force on their children, do this, do that. I want you to become like this. I cannot get an opportunity. I want you to become a doctor. See, like this kind of a force. They don't want to hear such thing. They have the ear pain. Read, and rules at home. The child's inability to change, adapt things, get anger, result in earache. And in older people, the life partner, at the age of 70, 80, either the male or a female goes to a selective hearing or partial deafness. Why? Because she or he don't want to listen. Something happened 40 years during the marriage, or during some 30 years back, a story, when they continue to hear, they don't want, continue to talk and they don't want to hear, they will have partial deafness. That's called a selective hearing. They don't want to hear their partner's dialogues. So then we move on to the spinal column. Back pain problems. Spine represents a supporting system. The spine represents from the animal walking on 4 legs, man has stood up, standing on 2 legs. So the spinal column takes the whole load. So what happens? The problems of back pain when it is unsupported. See, we have a 2.5 kg skull which is unsupported in the cervical region. That is unsupported. When the thoracic region is supported by a chest rib cage, normally people will never have the central part of the body have back pains. Only at the lower leg. Only at the lower back they have pain, lower back pain. L1 to L5, lumbar region. Because the whole body weight goes on the lumbar region, so you get pain in the lower back. And the sacrum is supported by our hip, so you don't get it. So why someone gets the problem in the cervical region? It is unsupported because of the stubbornness. Stubbornness. They are very stubborn. Neck represents flexibility. If you are not flexible to others' ideas, others' lifestyle, say, look for when you are living in an apartment, the security will sleep. Then if you say the security is sleeping, see, after main door is locked, he tend to sleep. He is at the age of 60 plus. It's quite natural that every human being sleeps. If you don't accept, you are so rigid. The servant maid coming late, they are not keeping this. If you are so rigid, then you have rigidity in your neck and you have to wear the collar, stiffness in the neck. So you don't develop flexibility, you will have stiffness in the neck. And the upper back is unsupported. With that, upper back is also unsupported. If you are unable to share your feelings with your close kith and kins, your husband and wife, you are unable to share your things, then you will have an upper back pain. And the lower back is causes because the financial support. Finance is the backbone of an industry. Finance is the backbone of a family. Finance is the backbone of a trade. If you don't have any financial problem, you don't have a back pain. If you don't have any injury or something like that. If you have a financial problem, any amount of traction, any amount of pain, any amount of exercise will never help. Unless you solve your financial problem, your back pain will never disappear, lower back pain. I found out. So what do? What is your assets, liquid assets? What is your movable and immovable assets? Which one I can sell it? A old house in my native town, sell it, pay back, pay your, the home loan. So the load on your back reduces. Then you don't need to go for a traction or any kind of a medicine. So it's wisdom teeth. This one I will take it in my next thing, but still I would like to give you anyway. They are going to be there in the PPT. See, wisdom teeth occurs in between the age of 18 and 25. I just gone through, for a long, I did a lot of searching. I found out the first arrived in Tasmania 40,000 years back. The Aboriginal Tasmanians, they have no wisdom teeth because there is no question of wisdom there. And practically there is wisdom teeth. Only a third. Okay, then slowly then moved on to a next about 25,000 years back, the Mexicans. At least one wisdom tooth. Then subsequently over the period of time, then 5,000 years, the African American and Asian Americans are also likely to have the Europeans, their 4 wisdom teeth, because the wisdom has come. So the wisdom teeth started. These are the aboriginal. See, if you don't develop the wisdom, a normal on the right side top of screen, you can see the normal eruption of the wisdom teeth. Horizontal represent you are thinking horizontally, not as per the nature, as designed by God. If it is impaction, you are having friction with somebody and you don't think about it. And when it is buried, it becomes a distal impaction. If it is buried or is touching to the other end, you are burying your wisdom. So in our mind, we feel wisdom teeth in general are no value and are not potential problem. Then also you will have the wisdom teeth problem. In Korean, for example, in poetic name, the third molars, it translates to love teeth. If you love your wisdom around at that age, you typically experience a normal eruption. If your thinking is wrong, horizontal to the nature, or vertical, or distal, or missile, or buried, you'll have problems in the wisdom teeth. So if you change, these are all you can see. Okay. The problem is the studies have really not been rigorous today. The science needs a lot more to be worked on to find out the wisdom teeth. So probable solution to psychosomatic pain. Resolving psychosomatic pain requires more than just medicine. The healthcare practitioners should find out the root cause and treat the cause. Counseling and psychotherapy can help to find out the real source of pain by finding the connection between physical pain and possible psychological cause. Studies have also shown the importance of meditation and yoga improving the psychosomatic pain. Summary: the influence of psych on pain symptoms is much more widely recognized now. What is now required more than ever is for the pharmacologist, neurologist, and orthopedic surgeons and psychiatrists to work together to deal with the issues of psychosomatic pain. So for you, I give you a small, this book helped me to do a lot of research and the understanding. The Louise Hay, she is not a doctor by profession. She is a normal lady. She undergoes a lot of pain and miseries in her life, a childhood abuse, and then she has realized she gets a tumor in her uterus, and she, by her own thought pattern, she breaks all that tumor and she gets back. You can either buy this, you can heal your life. If you need Tamil, you can buy this from Kannadasan Publications. So this gives you an idea. So conclusion, therefore, it is the responsibilities of the Sky Motors to deal with the person as a whole, to deal with appropriate medical treatment if necessary. Take time to talk about their feelings and emotions if they require, and understand, help them, their illness better. Look at their whole lifestyle of the person involved if they are interested. Tell them what kind of a new thought pattern they must go. They must do meditation, exercise, and things that help them to meditate and exercise, that will help them to live and lead a happy and blissful life. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the whole mankind to achieve health, peace, love, and happiness to all. Happiness to all. So with this, so now the masters, I will regulate militarily this. We should follow the masters, Sky Masters. We should follow and help them. Those who are coming to our centers, help them to understand. So when I work with all these ideas, Swamiji's loving support is with me and my students and aspirants. Thanks to Swamiji. I thank you all for your patient hearing for the last 1 hour and sharing my ideas. It's only my thoughts and ideas collected from a lot of people's ideas over a period of time, hundreds of years, and from Google. I thank all of them for their great service. Thank you very much. Be blessed by the divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.